Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N' Roses Central, and welcome to another episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. But we're going to do something different today. I want to flip the tables and talk really about how I came up with the idea for Guns N' Roses Central, and maybe talk about what I want to do in the future on my channel. And I really want you guys to give me some feedback on what you'd like to see on my channel. What am I doing that's really good, and what am I doing that's maybe could see some improvement? So please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and a little bit about probably where you guys are at, and tell me your story too. I would love to hear where you guys are at in your life. So, you guys who are watching this video are probably going to fall into one of two camps. You're either working, or maybe working part time, or maybe you're a student. Going to high school or university or college or wherever you're going. And I was in one of the camps at any point in my life. Back when I was a student, which seemed like a lifetime ago, I was, going to school for 3 to 5 hours a day, coming home, studying for another 3 to 5 hours a day. And I always thought that once you started working and you were out of school, that was like smooth sailing from that point on. It was supposed to be really easy. You wouldn't have to worry about coming home and doing homework or any of that kind of stuff or studying. And, once I got out of school, it was, yeah, I mean, the first couple of years were fine because, I mean, whenever you start working, I find out of school, it's, you're usually given like a low entry job. You're not given much responsibility, and there's not much stress except for trying to prove to people that, you can actually be a decent worker. And, it wasn't until 2014, 2015, or 2016 that I was working. It just was so stressful just because, I was working on stuff I'd never worked on before. I was given more responsibility, and you're working with a large group of people. So at the end of the day, you're not the boss, and that's totally fine. Most jobs are like that. But I found that I needed a creative outlet, something where I could be my own boss and call the shots and get my creativity out and have some way of expressing myself. And it was in 2014 that I started another YouTube channel called Rock Gamer. And it was around the time, if you guys don't know anything about me, I'm a huge gamer. I used to be a much bigger gamer back in the day, and I'm not as big of a gamer these days. I found as I've gotten older, I'm a little more selective with my time. So I want to devote my time to something that I get more gratification out of, which is my Guns N' Roses channel. So I was a huge Rock Band and Guitar Hero fan. In fact, those games really introduced me to the type of music I like these days. And I started a channel similar to what I do on Guns N' Roses Central. I covered, rhythm gaming news. I did a weekly podcast. I, talked about what was going on in the world of rhythm gaming, and anticipating that Rock Band and Guitar Hero were going to become these huge phenomenons they had once become back in like 2007, 2008. And, those games came out and they weren't really a big commercial hit. And I didn't really get a lot of subscribers, and I was really disappointed. I was, putting all this effort in. A lot of people weren't even watching my videos. And then it was around the time that Guns N' Roses announced the reunion that I started to put some Guns N' Roses videos up on my Rock Gamer channel, and they performed actually quite well. I was kind of surprised. And it was kind of the same theme. I just did Guns N' Roses news, and it was around that time that I probably went through the most stressful period of my life in the last year or so. And I was like, you know what? I need to do something that's giving me more gratification on this channel. It's not working for me. Like, I'm still doing that channel. If you guys like rhythm games, go check out Rock Gamer and subscribe. And so I did probably one of the things that anybody who's kind of lost should really do, and that is go get away from whatever's going on in your life. And I just took a vacation. I went away for about a week, week and a half, went somewhere nice and warm, and I really got some clarity and got some time to think about what I wanted to do with my free time in terms of, do I want to keep doing Rock Gamer? Do I want to start a Guns N' Roses channel? Because at that point I was thinking of starting a Guns N' Roses channel, but I was like, it's so much work, and do I have the time? And I think that one of the best things you can do is like really ask yourself, what am I passionate about? And I knew the two things I was passionate about. One was rhythm gaming, which obviously was not working for me, and then the other one was Guns N' Roses. And I went away on vacation. I really got some clarity, and I really was able to think, you know what, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to do a Guns N' Roses YouTube channel, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's totally okay. But I've tried it, and I can say I've tried it. So I got back from vacation in May sometime, or it was early June, and I started uploading Guns N' Roses news. And that was originally what my YouTube channel was. It was just Guns N' Roses news, that's it. I'm not doing Guns N' Roses True Story or any podcasts. And, it was around the time that Guns had started their stadium tour in North America. So I think the first couple of dates were Chicago, Detroit, and I was getting, some good amount of people interested in my channel. People were subscribing, they were enjoying the content. It was something different. And then slowly over the summer, as they were doing their tour, it started to grow. And then Axel joined AC/DC, and I covered AC/DC news, and it was growing from that point on. And then they toured South America, and it was growing and growing. And then it wasn't really until Guns hit Japan, Australia, New Zealand as part of this tour that my channel really grew a lot and started to get a lot of people paying attention to what I was doing. And that's when I started to do, Guns N' Roses True Story. I started to add to my channel late last year. I started to do the weekly podcast. I'm starting to do some live streaming stuff. So every time I'm hitting, a threshold or a milestone for my subscribers, I want to have a live chat with you guys and have you guys ask me questions, and we can have an interesting discussion about Guns N' Roses. And it was awesome. Like, honestly, the last year has been incredible. And it's really all thanks to you guys. Like, I get up in the morning, and the first thing I do is check my phone and see, like, what are you guys talking about on social media with me? What are you guys talking about on Facebook with me? What are you guys saying on YouTube about my videos? And what are your comments and stuff? And that's honestly one of my best parts of my day, is just hanging with you guys, listening to what you guys have to say. And honestly, the comments just warm my heart. Like, when I see comments like, oh, your channel's awesome, thanks for keeping us up to date, that really is the kind of feedback that makes me feel good about what I'm doing. And it's honestly, I've only been doing this channel for less than a year, and I can't wait to see where it's going to be in 5 years. My only worry is that at some point, Guns N' Roses are going to call it quits and retire because they can't tour anymore. But that's probably 10 or 15 years away in the future, and at that point, hopefully, I'll be retired too. So I just want to thank you guys for everything. I want to talk a little bit about where I want to take the channel in the future. There's definitely some stuff I want to do. There's definitely some people I want to have on the podcast, especially people from the Guns N' Roses camps, and or people who used to be with Guns N' Roses, and talk to them about that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, guys, even like I've had trouble. Like, I've tried to reach out to people who've been involved with Guns N' Roses, and it's so hard to get your calls or emails, answered. So I haven't really had any much luck, which kind of sucks. But, you got to keep trying. And I think, my channel is eventually going to hopefully grow to the point where they'll be interested in doing it. And the other thing I want to do is start to do some new features on my channel that, maybe I haven't done before. And hopefully you guys will like. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What kind of stuff do you guys want to see on my channel? And what do you want to see improved? Or what do you want to see more of or less of? Let me know in the comment section down below. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing this channel for you guys. And that basically does it for my summary of how I came up with Guns N' Roses Central. I want you guys, if you have any questions about the channel, feel free to ask me down below, and and I'll answer you guys' comments, your questions in the comments below, or maybe I'll do a follow-up video if I get a lot of questions. So that does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, go like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. My links to my social media pages are down below. And subscribe to my channel if you guys haven't already for the latest and greatest Guns N' Roses news, and for anything related to Guns N' Roses. Take care.